Alright, so this will be driving light mode. And then I'm going to hold it down. I'm going to turn the turn signal on. And we're going to turn that turn signal off. And I hope that doesn't come off too bright on that camera. I'm going to come down and take a peek at you with you guys. So you guys can, I just want to see how bright that really is. Hope it's not too bright for you. Nah, it's not that bad. So I know you guys want to see those headlights at night, so let me get that towel back up and I'll show you guys how those look aimed out with just a headlight only. Like right now, again, this is just the fog light itself. What's good, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. I know it has been a little hiatus since the last time I've seen you guys. Rest assured, I have not been sitting on my butt, and we have done a lot to this car since the last time I've seen you. The last thing we've done is the actual digital dash. That's full systems go, and that's going to get installed. The break came from me getting upset on a quote to do some body work. I am not here to judge anyone's prices. I know the state of the economy is kind of a little shitty with everything going in inflation, but some of these shops are just getting out of control with their prices. And I got quoted a price to do the, before I even get to that point, I'm going to show the guys who have Nova something, and I'm going to see can they spot it. Now I can't see what you're seeing, but I'm hoping you can see it. If you have a 68 through 74 Nova, you can probably spot the difference on the back of that, on the back near the tail lights. Basically, I got a quote to get that done, and we're just talking just the metal work, where I was going to paint it, prime it, and do all the cosmetic part of it myself. And the cheapest quote I got to do that was $2,500, and that was with me buying a brand new donor panel to actually get welded in. For the guys who don't have a Nova, basically, I'm going to kind of hold the camera like this to kind of show you guys what we're talking about. In the center right there, this is basically recessed in, and the plate sits there, and my bumper this year has a big bulky bumper from the late 70s where things kind of got all safety from from DOT and all that good stuff. I basically wanted a shop just to cut that recessed section out, and here's that recessed section that sits in there. Yeah, we did it all right here in the garage. I just basically wanted them to cut that out, weld the new section in, and maybe hammer and dolly, maybe put skim coat of Bondo on it to smooth things out if they had to. And at that point, I was going to take over. And those quotes were with me purchasing a brand new filler panel where they wouldn't have to do any fab work, just basically section it out, weld it in, just to keep the hours down, and $2,500 was the cheapest. So with that being said, I stopped everything. I did some reading, I did some learning. I watched about literally 20 hours of YouTube videos just to see how to learn how to weld, how to do things properly, and what techniques I need to do to pull this off in my own garage. And I gotta say, I think it turned out pretty dang on good. I'm gonna spin the camera this way, and you guys can kind of see the shine on. I'm hoping that picks it up. You know, all this is all me. So I did it all right here in this garage, and it basically only cost me, at the end of the day, about $250 to do it myself. Now, granted, those years of experience that the shop have, they're invaluable. But I wanted to do this to myself, and I want to show you guys there's nothing wrong with doing things yourself and learning how to do it yourself. Now, unfortunately, I didn't film any of that because I didn't feel comfortable showing you guys a video on something that I was also learning how to do at the exact same time. But I did take a lot of photos of every step of every process, and I'm going to show, I'll probably make a 5-minute video after this video showing you guys every product that I used and how we did it. And I'm happy with the results. I think the mod turned out great. It is exactly what I wanted. I just was never a fan of the big bulky bumpers that they put on the 73, 74s. And I definitely wanted a unique car. So, but that's enough of that taillight panel. That is not what this video is about. Today's video is about custom turn signals that we're going to do this thing. So this is going to be the first time you're going to be seeing this done with these particular lights. And I hope you can adapt everything that we're going to do to your vehicle. Let's go to the front of the car. And I'm going to show you exactly why we chose the lights we chose. All right, we got the garage open, and now we're at the front of the Nova. There are a few options for turn signals on the front of our Nova. We also did a 6872, actually I think this is a 7072 front end swap on the front of this thing, because we also didn't like the front nose of these 73, 74 Novas. And I know there's a lot of people saying, oh, you should just bought one of those years. You should just go to hell. Basically, we were gonna put the clear lenses down here at the bottom on the turn signals. And I've seen that done a million times, and it actually does look great. One thing that we wanted to change was we wanted to go to LED headlights. So our headlights, we wanted to make sure we chose something that kept the monotone look. We didn't want something that had an embedded turn signal in it, even though some of the newer style of these LED lights actually have a hidden turn signal in it where it isn't a white ring going around it outside edge that's a daytime running lamp and it switches to yellow. We didn't want that. I didn't want that ring on there because I think it looks kind of old schoolish. Like it just reminds me of the first gen LED lights, and I didn't want that look on this car. So the clear turn signals that normally would go here in here would have absolutely looked good. But if you're gonna do something, you might as well do it exactly where you want, because at the end of the day, it is your car and you have to drive it and make that thing look good. Make it look good for how you want it to look. Don't be on the internet looking for approval for what you want to do, because you'll just end up disappointed and have a car that you don't really like. So with that being said, we found a nice turn signal that's really not really a turn signal. Now, this is what's going to go in our square hole. These, in essence, are not turn signals, but we're going to mod these with a couple things to make them turn signals. This is really a white driving light with a yellow fog light embedded into it, and it's a simple, I think, 3 or 4 wire hookup. I think this is a 3-wire hookup, but this is nothing to be afraid of. We're going to show all the wiring on the bench to show you how we're going to get it to do what we want it to do. What we're going to have happen is we're going to have a separate switch on our white light, and that's going to be our driving light, and we're going to ride around with that thing at dusk or whatever. And whenever we hit the turn signal, we want the white light to turn off, and we want the yellow light to flash in basically in a switchback function. We're going to put a module on the back side of this thing. It's going to be killer. And whenever the light isn't on, we just want the turn signal or the fog light to flash just like normal. I know these aren't designed for that, but we're going to make them do that. And first we're going to mock one of these things up, so that way if you have a car with a square hole in the front and a separate turn signal, you'll get a chance to see how this looks. So I'm going to sit this in there and give you guys a taste on what it's going to look like. And then we're going to bring it right back to our makeshift bench, which is really just my garbage cans. And we're going to do some wiring. I know the auto shutter is probably dimming it just a little bit, but trust me guys, this thing is absolutely bright. And I'm going to take some night shots of this same scene right here, and then we're going to show you the street behind me to kind of give you an idea how far it throws. We're not going to move the Nova at all. Here is the headlight that I know you guys are probably dying to see, and here's the driving light. Now there's a chance maybe on a back road or something like that I might need all this lighting coming down the road, but for the most part I probably won't even have both of these on at the same time anyway. So but I think it looks killer. I'm going to actually leave them both on, and I'm giving you guys a walk around so you guys can see how they look off axis, both of them. And I get a chance to put you in the sweet spot of the headlight. I think it looks killer. It's going to be a killer look coming down the road. Maybe not with both of them on, but definitely with that headlight on and at dusk when I want to rock the driving light. So here's a quick walk around. I'm going to try to keep you in a sweet spot. These look kind of purplish depending on what angle. I don't know if the camera's going to pick it all up, but it's pretty much the exact look we were going for. I'm going to try to keep you in a sweet spot the best I can. I think this look is going to look really, really good in the look that I want it, especially with the custom turn signals on the side. You know, these are perfect clear, and we're going to put a yellow LED behind it to kind of keep the DOT a little happy, basically. But I think this is going to look killer. So let's get into the workbench, and then let me show you guys how we're going to wire this up. All right, I'm kind of out on the workbench, but I'm going to give you guys a rundown of what you're going to need before we even get started. The first thing you're going to need is a Morimoto Switchback Driver. So the one you're going to need is Morimoto H290. The next thing, depending on your vehicle, the next thing you're going to need is probably an electronic flasher, since you're going from incandescent to LED, basically, on here. This is just an old style that I had in my toolbox that I'm hoping works on our old school Nova. There's a chance it might not work, but I knew though they make quite a few better versions of this now. This technology and this one is probably 20 years old. God, I was running this in my Grand Prix days, and it may work, it may not work. I'm hoping it works so that I won't have to go buy anything right now. Also, depending on your vehicle, you may need, this is a 6 ohm resistor, and there's a chance you might need a combination of both of these. So your mileage may vary depending on what you need. Be advised, these do get warm when the turn signal is flashing, just like they're designed. There's just a resistor at the end of the day. So make sure you don't mount this on anything plastic on your car. Try to free air mount it and let it dangle, or put it on something metal. That's really designed to go on something metal, and that'll really kind of keep things safe under the hood. And just like always, fuse all of this stuff when you wire it in. The turn signal section itself is already fused from the vehicle, but we're going to put a separate switch to drive our driving lights, because 73 Nova doesn't have an extra switch in there for that. So we're going to put a fuse on that thing, and that's what's going to give our safety on our driving light positive wire. So I'm going to mount this camera. I'm going to cover the garbage cans up and put a towel up here, and we're going to get the battery up here, and I'm going to go through the wiring and show you guys how this works. All right, before we get started, I'm going to show the younger guys how turn signals used to work back in the day. I know a lot of modern cars have done away with the flasher itself. Actually, they used to look kind of like, this basically on a lot of the older cars. A lot of modern cars have went to the body control module controlling the turn signal, and they've totally done away with this, and there's a computer in there doing all the flashing. And the authentic click that all us old timers grew up with is now done by the left speaker, or a speaker that's inside the car. So that it's not one of these clicking anymore, it's the actual speaker. So there is a chance on your new school car you won't be able to even use this. You'll probably be using you may or may not be able to use this, like I said earlier. You might have to just tie one of these on the positive and then to a ground to give you your resistance to keep you away from hyper flashing. So let's get the new fog light up here, and we're gonna do some things. So this is gonna actually just jump, and you're gonna see all the wiring. I'm gonna bring the camera closer so you can see what all wiring took place, because I don't want to bore you with the wiring details. It's easier just to explain what happened versus showing you wiring and keep the video going quicker. All right, we got our wiring done, and it looks a little hodgepodge, but I tried to make sure the color stayed the same so that way you can see what's going on. We're gonna explain it coming from the light going back the other way, because that might be simpler. On a Morimoto module, you'll have these 2 connections. These look like regular 9006 connections, and each one has a set of wires coming out. Both have a ground. One has a yellow wire, which is our turn signal wire. One has a white wire, which is our driving light wire. These connect to, our white wire is going to connect to our driving light wire. This may vary depending on what light you got, but our white wire is going to connect to our red wire on our light, because that drives the white light. The yellow light is our fog light, which we're going to use as a impromptu turn signal light basically at this point. The third wire is a ground. It can connect to either one of these grounds basically, or you can even go to a chassis ground if you needed to. But I just simply use this ground because it's there. Now the module itself has another 3 wires coming out, and this what does the business end. It has its own ground, which is represented by a black wire coming all the way up to our negative side on the battery. Our next wire is our white wire. Again, this is the same white wire that's going in here and it's doing the magic in here. This is what's going to turn on our white driving light on the light itself. And then the next wire is our yellow turn signal wire. So basically when we hit the turn signal, the car puts 12 volts to the yellow wire. The flasher does the flashing pulsing. And the flasher itself is what's going to be interrupting the signal going to the switchback driver. The switchback driver itself doesn't do any flashing. It just allows the yellow fog light section to function by turning the white one off temporarily. The actual blinking is coming from our flasher itself. So in addition to that, since we have LED on here, we needed to wire in the resistor. I kind of mentioned earlier, we might have to use both of these, which we did, because we needed a load on, even though this is an electronic flasher, it still needed a semi-decent load to actually get you clicking, to get you pulsing. So I'm going to mount this camera up and I'm going to give you guys a one-to-one, and you're going to see exactly how this all works. I hope you guys followed that. And just for reference, the resistor is going to the load wire on this side, and the other side is going to the ground. I don't know if I've just mentioned that or not. So I'm going to mount this camera up here real fast, and you guys are going to see exactly how it works. So nothing's on right now, and I'm making a left turn on whatever street, USA, and I hit that turn signal stalk, and 12 volts gets applied to this out of the stalk when you hit it. And right now you got the yellow going. So we turn the wheel back straight. This auto canceling turn signal turns it off, and everything's fine and dandy, and it works a million times. We're going to lose the fog light section out of this, but we're never going to use it anyway. So that's basically how it works. Now say we're driving around at dusk when it's 6 p.m. where the sun's getting ready to set. I like the way it looks when you're riding around with lower fog lights on there. So I'm going to turn the fog lights on. We got the white section showing, and this is going to be on a toggle switch, so I can turn these on and off manually and they'll just stay on. But when I get ready to hit that turn signal, the Mori motor module is going to actually turn off the fog light for us and flash the turn signal just like it did on our test. And I'm kind of stay out of it so you guys can see this happen. I'm not going to disconnect this. I'm just going to touch this wire on here. And now we got the yellow only flashing. And then when the wheel straightens out, the fog light turns back on. And I never unhooked this fog light, not one single time. So that's basically how it's going to work. I'm going to put this back on the car. The sun is kind of setting, and you guys get to see how far this light really throws. And we're going to set the camera up, and we're going to see how it looks at night, basically with the sun setting. I'm going to try to get the garage lights to turn out so you guys can really see how bright this really is. But I'm going to face the camera facing out towards the street so you can see how far this white light is really throwing. It's a really good, nice light, and it looks really good. So sit tight. All right, I got things kind of mocked up down here back in place again. And as you can see, the sun is getting ready to set. I'm not going to go out too far because I haven't turned the security lights off yet. But as you can see, the sun is getting ready to set. So we're going to turn on the driving light. I'm going to kind of hold the camera out here so you can see it. And you're going to see how far this thing is going to really throw. So I'm going to try to hold the camera steady as I can for you guys. I'm holding with my left hand, so bear with me. And that is one single driving light. That is not the headlight with that. That's definitely the driving light only. So I'm going to try to spin this around the best I can. As you can see, that headlight is not on. That's just the fog light only. I mean, well, our driving light. And this is a bright light. And now we're going to actually turn the turn signal on. And it is definitely nice and bright. I definitely love it. And we're gonna set the camera down out in front so that way I can kind of show you what's going on facing the vehicle. All right, so this will be driving light mode. And then I'm gonna hold it down, I'm gonna turn the turn signal on. And we're gonna turn that turn signal off. And I hope that doesn't come off too bright on that camera. I'm gonna come down and take a peek at you with you guys. So you guys can, I just wanna see how bright that really is. Hope it's not too bright for you. Nah, it's not that bad. So I know you guys want to see those headlights at night, so let me get that towel back up and I'll show you guys how those look aimed out with just the headlight only. Like right now, again, this is just the fog light itself. I'm gonna turn on the fog lights. So that's just one fog light, guys. That's just the left side still. And then we're gonna turn that fog light off. And this is gonna be that headlight, same side. And then this is gonna be with the fog light and the headlight. And like I said, it's nice. It's absolutely nice and bright. I think it's gonna look killer, and it's gonna light the road up pretty bright. We're gonna aim the headlight down a little bit. I see it's a little high, and I don't want to aim it at my nearest house, but it's just above the crest right there. I hope the picture's picking it up. So I'm gonna actually turn off the fog light, and I'm gonna give you an idea of the flashing with the headlight on, how it's gonna look on the ground. So that's headlight and the turn signal flashing underneath. And I think it's gonna look killer. So I'm gonna swing this camera again to show you guys the headlight at night, since we didn't get a chance to see that at night. And show you how far out it's really throwing. I don't know if you guys can pick that up on the camera or not, but it's at the bottom of that fence right there. And now we're about maybe 15 yards away. I'm gonna try to hold it steady as I can for you. Focus back again for you. And this is in the deep part of the light. And usually when it's coming down the road, it's gonna kind of flicker purple at you like that, something like that. And it's gonna look really good. Like I said, all the lights in combination with the monotone look that we're going for, with no yellow, no amber, anything like that on the front of the car when it's off. I think the look is gonna be perfect for what we're trying to do. Especially with the combination with the custom marker lights that we did. Like I said, we did them in the front and the back, and it looks really good. All right, I hope you guys enjoyed that video. It was actually fun making it. It was fun getting back behind the camera again and showing you guys a few things, the tricks that I've learned along the ways. I know a lot of people don't like modified cars, but at the end of the day, like I said earlier, modify your car how you want to. Don't get on the internet looking for approval for the mods you want to do to your car. Those people giving their opinion don't have their name on the registration with yours, and they're not paying insurance with you. So with that being said, I'm gonna stop this video and I'm gonna continue recording, and we're gonna discuss the taillight panel in a separate video. So that way I can give you guys some more content. I feel bad about not filming, because I was really in the mood to keep filming and showing you guys stuff that I've learned along the way, especially for the beginners, because it seemed like a lot of stuff is not geared toward the beginner. And I kind of want to fill that gap the best I can. So I really thank you guys for watching this video. I hope you stay tuned for the next video. And if you like the content, definitely give me a thumbs up. Like I said, YouTube is not my job. I work 50 hours a week. I'm a full-time dad. I'm married, husband, just like you guys sitting at home. And sometimes it takes a lot to stop doing what we're doing. Yeah, the mosquitoes are in here. It takes a lot to actually come out here and film some of this stuff and edit it later on for you guys. So if you guys can give me a thumbs up for the video, I really appreciate it. And if you give me a subscription, I kind of respond to everybody in every post basically. And I really appreciate it. And so do the other YouTubers. Like I said, some of them is their full-time job, but the guys like me, this is not my full-time job. So that being said, I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.